Welcome to Metallica's albums, ranked from worst to Godlike. We're starting with the album most fans wish had never seen the light of day, and building up to Metallica's absolute masterpiece. So, sit back, crank up the volume, and let's dive into Metallica's world. At number 11, Saint Anger. This album, wow, it's like trying to make sense of a bad dream, you know? You wake up and you're just pissed off it even entered your head. It's raw, but not in the way that rips your face off. It's raw like an open wound that just won't heal. The drums, man, they sound like someone beating on trash cans in an alley. And where are the solos? Gone, vanished like a ghost. Look, experimentation is cool, but this felt like they were lost in the desert, tripping on something bad. It left a sour taste in everyone's mouth. Fans, critics, even the band themselves. You know it's bad when even Lars doesn't like the drum sound. It's a painful reminder that even the greats stumble. You can feel the frustration in the music, but it's not focused, it's just chaotic. This is Metallica at their most vulnerable, exposed, and yeah, it's ugly. Saint Anger, the black sheep of the family, the one you hide in the attic and pretend never happened. It's a testament to the fact that not every experiment is a masterpiece. Some just blow up in your face. Coming in at number 10 is Reload. This one always felt like a hangover after the Load party. Don't get me wrong, Load had its moments, but Reload just felt tired, like they'd run out of gas on the creative highway. They tried to recapture the Load vibe, but it just felt forced, like trying to squeeze water from a stone. The bluesy stuff is there, but it's missing that raw nerve, that grit that made Metallica, well, Metallica. It felt safe, predictable, and that's not what you want from a band like this. It's like they were trying to be something they weren't, and it shows. There are a few decent tracks, but nothing that really grabs you by the throat and shakes you to your core. Reload is the album that even diehard fans struggle to defend. It's not bad, not really, it's just there. A collection of B-sides that should have stayed in the studio vault. Death Magnetic crawls out of the grave at number 9. This one was supposed to be their return to form, a resurrection of the thrash metal gods. And yeah, there are moments where you can hear the old Metallica fighting to get out, like a caged animal. But it's buried under this wall of sound, this compressed, overproduced mess that sucks the life out of the music. It's like they cranked the volume to 11 and then sat on the speakers. The songs are there, the riffs are there, but the soul, man, the soul is suffocating under the weight of the production. It's a frustrating listen because you can hear the potential, but it's like trying to breathe in a vacuum. It's heavy, but it's a suffocating kind of heavy, not the exhilarating, headbanging kind. Death Magnetic is a missed opportunity, a reminder that sometimes you need to let the music breathe. It's a step up from Saint Anger, sure, but it's still a long way from the summit of Mount Metallica. Chapter 4. Hardwired. To Self-Destruct, Searching for the Signal. At number 8, we have Hardwired. To Self-Destruct. This one's a bit of a head-scratcher. It's like they took all the Metallica ingredients, threw them in a blender, and hit the pulse button a few times. You get flashes of brilliance, these moments where the old magic shines through, but then it's gone, replaced by something else. It's like they couldn't decide which direction to go, so they went in every direction at once. There are thrashy moments, melodic moments, even some prog metal thrown in for good measure. It's not a bad album, not by a long shot, it's just unfocused. It's like a greatest hits album of songs that haven't been written yet. It's Metallica trying to please everyone, and in the process, they end up pleasing no one. It's a solid effort, but it lacks the raw power, the urgency, the danger that made their early albums so captivating. Chapter 5. Load. The Great Divide. At number 7, we arrive at Load, the album that split the Metallica fanbase in two. This is where they took a hard left turn into blues rock territory, trading in their thrash metal armor for leather jackets and cigarettes. It was a bold move, a middle finger to the expectations of the metal community. And you know what? It worked. Load has some of Metallica's most enduring songs, like Until It Sleeps and King Nothing. It showed a different side of the band, a more introspective, blues-influenced side. But for every fan who embraced the change, there was another who felt betrayed, left behind in the mosh pit of their youth. Load is a reminder that bands evolve, they grow, they change. It's an album that continues to divide and conquer, but it's undeniably Metallica. Chapter 6. 72. Seasons. Echoes of the Past. Landing at number 6 is 72 Seasons, Metallica's latest offering to the metal gods. This one feels like a love letter to their past, a reflection on the music that shaped them into the titans they are today. You can hear echoes of Kill 'Em All, Ride the Lightning, even Master of Puppets woven into the fabric of these songs. It's a mature album, but it's not lacking in energy or aggression. It's Metallica looking back on their journey, acknowledging their roots while still pushing forward. The riffs are heavy, the drums are thunderous, and James's voice is as powerful as ever. But there's a sense of restraint, a wisdom that comes with age. It's Metallica, battle-scarred but not broken, older but not weaker. 72 Seasons is a reminder that even legends can evolve, that they can learn from their past and create something new and vital. Chapter 7. Kill 'Em All, the spark that ignited the fire. At number 5, we have the one that started it all, the album that introduced the world to the raw power of Metallica, Kill 'Em All. This is thrash metal in its infancy, a raw nerve exposed, a primal scream against the conformity of the early 80s. From the opening riff of Hit the Lights to the closing scream of Metal Militia, Kill 'Em All is a relentless assault on the senses. It's young, it's hungry, and it's full of the kind of energy that can't be bottled or contained. This is the sound of 4 guys from California who wanted to change the world, one riff at a time. Kill 'Em All is a landmark album, a blueprint for thrash metal that countless bands would follow. Chapter 8. Ride the Lightning, The Storm Breaks. Number 4 brings us to Ride the Lightning, the album where Metallica truly found their voice. It's heavier than Kill 'Em All, more melodic, and more experimental. This is the album where they began to explore the darker side of their music, with songs like Fade to Black and For Whom the Bell Tolls. The songwriting is more mature, the musicianship is tighter, and the production is cleaner. But don't let that fool you. This album is still a force of nature. Ride the Lightning is a perfect balance of aggression and melody, of darkness and light. It's an album that showcases Metallica's growth as songwriters and musicians without sacrificing any of their intensity. Chapter 9. Coming in at number 3 is the album that catapulted Metallica into superstardom. Metallica, better known as the Black Album. This is the album that brought metal to the masses, with songs like Enter Sandman, Nothing Else Matters, and Sad But True becoming anthems for a generation. The Black Album is a more polished, more accessible Metallica, but it's still a heavy metal album at its core. The riffs are huge, the drums are thunderous, and James's voice is as powerful as ever. This album proved that Metallica could evolve their sound without sacrificing their integrity. The Black Album is a landmark achievement in metal history, an album that broke down barriers and introduced Metallica to a whole new world of listeners. Chapter 10. At number 2, we have And Justice for All, the album that saw Metallica embrace their progressive side. This is their most ambitious album, with complex song structures, politically charged lyrics, and a sprawling, epic sound. And Justice for All is a dark and angry album, a reflection of the political and social turmoil of the late 80s. It's also an album that showcases Metallica's musical growth with intricate arrangements and technically demanding performances. From the opening riff of Blackened to the closing notes of And Justice for All, this album is a relentless assault on the senses. And Justice for All is a testament to Metallica's willingness to push the boundaries of metal. It's a masterpiece of thrash metal, and it remains one of Metallica's most enduring works. Chapter 11. And finally, at number 1, we have the album that needs no introduction, the album that defines Metallica, Master of Puppets. This is the album where everything came together, where their songwriting, musicianship, and production reached their peak. Master of Puppets is a perfect metal album, from start to finish. Every song is a classic, from the title track to Battery to Welcome Home, Sanitarium. The riffs are iconic, the drums are thunderous, and James's voice is a force of nature. But it's more than just a collection of great songs. It's an experience. It's an album that takes you on a journey, from the depths of despair to the heights of triumph. Master of Puppets is the sound of a band at the top of their game, a band that knew no limits. It's an album that will never be forgotten, an album that will forever be hailed as one of the greatest metal albums of all time.